Hi, welcome to Web Design Videos. This is a list of suggestions how you can use this video. All the notes for this video can be found here at this URL, which is loaded here. Okay, so we were doing the all the files we do so far are in CTEM, Web Design 2024, Church 21, Design, Prototype. Okay. We also, before we start all this, we also talk to the client and agree with this site structure. Let me quickly open this. So this is the site structure we want, they want, okay, and we agree with this. And obviously, when you do this kind of site structure, this is a two-level drop-down navigation, and we can code it in HTML, CSS with Bootstrap. It's pretty straightforward. And then there are some direct links that they want to do. That's why we design. We did a sketch. We talked to them, and this is the two-level navigation correspond to the things here, and these are the direct links, which are images. So this is what we're going to do here. All right. And we were working on this, and we finished the let me choose the move tool. We finished this one here. So in this prototype, prototype in Photoshop. Obviously, we are not going to code HTML. We are just going to write our navigation here. Show the client, say, hey, this is what you want, and we are going to do that for you. Okay, and then later we can code it. So to do this navigation, let's zoom in a little bit. And if you can see our plan, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns we are going to use. And you try not to put this in the middle of a column that you're going to break. All right, so try to do the 5 columns, and we need to just write the text here. Just tell them what we want. So we are going to do an Arial and 15 points. Probably we have to type this again later, but that's fine. 15 points. 30 here, that is fine. The color, we use the same color, EC. Okay, same as this part, and we can change it when we code HTML, but right now that is fine. All right, right aligned. All right, let me choose the type 2 first, horizontal type 2. Okay, still the same. We don't need bold here, so unbold it. We don't need a bold anymore. And right align is good. So let's zoom in a tiny bit here that we see 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And put a type 2 here. And start typing. Okay, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just nice, right? So let's, after we finished, click on it, and you can see the name changed. All right, and then you can move this down a little bit. You can use the arrow key to move them, so it's easier to move. Let me zoom in a tiny bit. Yep, that looks good. All right, zoom out. So we finished this part, and we're not going to put any drop shadows and all that because we are going to do navigation later, and probably it will look different anyway. It's very difficult to code that, so we'll just leave that on. Okay, so that is good. Do a file save. If you want, you can zoom out a little bit. All right, and alternate zoom. All right, zoom out. Alternate click to zoom out. Alternate zoom to zoom out. All right, so we finished this. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to draw this here. All right, so we are going to draw this. If you just put image there, it's so easy to do, but I want to just create a little bit of effect to create some kind of texture effect. So we are going to draw a rectangle and attach inner bevel to it, and then we put image on top to have a little bit of the texture there, have a little bit of 3D effects. Okay. Before we do that, we want to choose a color that is slightly darker than here. So let's zoom in first. Make sure that you can see two columns. All right, I can see two columns here, 1, 2, and I want to draw a rectangle, okay, to have a color slightly darker than the background. So so let me choose the rectangle. All right, when you choose rectangle 2, you have to change the fill. So to change the fill, let me choose foreground color first. So one way you can do is you can use your eyedropper to pick the background color, and you start changing the shade here to choose a color that is darker. Or I have already chosen the color, so I'm just going to type it in. For you, you may have to choose. If you do your own project, you may have to, experiment with it. But I just don't have the time right now, so I just key in 163 E39. Okay, as written here. So as you can see, foreground you have a slightly darker color. So that will also transform to the fill. Okay, automatically. If not, you can always pick it again. Okay, make sure there's no stroke. All right. So now when you draw this, you are going to draw a rectangle that is 160 times 65. Okay, you can see that on the on where my cursor is, 160 times 65. Okay, so you draw this, and that is 160 times 65. Okay, once you do that, you can hit enter. All right, it's done. After you hit enter, you can rename it. Okay, you can rename it a frame. And then I realized that, oh no, I shouldn't put this in the title and top navigation. I should have put this in the middle navigation. So I will have to move it. Okay, so let's just move this to the middle navigation. Now, I finished my top navigation actually. So let me close my top navigation and lock it. And now let us focus on the middle navigation, okay? So we are doing the frame, all right? Okay? Yeah, sorry about that. Forgot about that. So frame is the middle navigation, and we finish all the top navigation, all the titles, and all the good stuff, all the logos. All right, and we lock it. All right, go back to middle navigation, the frame. The next thing we want to do is we want to create some kind of a frame effect, like a bevel effect, inner bevel. All right, so click on the FX and say I want to do a bevel. And the bevel window come out, make sure it's bevel, inner bevel. Do not use global light. Right now this bevel light is coming from 90%. You don't want that. You want to have an inverse effect. So pretend the light is coming from this direction. So change this to -45. So as you can see, it's like going in, right? -45. Do not use global light. Change the size to 2. So you just take 2 pixels and soften it is 0. So no soft, so it's very hard. Okay, 2 pixels hard, 70% inner bevel, no global light, -45. Good. Okay, done. Do your save. Okay, later we are going to put images inside, but we want to keep the 2 pixels of bevel. So we're going to create a clipping mask here. So zoom in a little bit until you can actually see the, let me close the character window. I don't need that anymore. Zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's too much. Zoom in until you can actually see the 2 pixels, okay, on the side. So if you take 2 pixels from here, 2 pixels from here, 2 pixels from top, 2 pixels from bottom, you actually takes 5 4 pixels. So 160 become 156 and 65 becomes 61. So that's the number we want. All right. So before you do that, since we are going to create a clipping mask, we want a color that's really bright. So let's pick something really bright here that you are not going to use. Bright green is good, or else you just look for something with a lot of green, okay? All right, and then we are going to do a rectangle. We can do rectangle, or we can do marquee and fill, but let's do a rectangle. The last time we did marquee and fill. This time, let's do a rectangle. Okay. All right, so pick a rectangle tool. Rectangle tool. Not this one. We're going to draw again. Select, deselect. No, I don't want to. Okay, select the middle navigation. I don't want to change the old one. Okay, don't do that. All right, select the middle navigation. Pick a rectangle tool. Now change the fill of the rectangle tool. Change it to the bright color that you have just chosen, the bright green. And now make sure you start from 2 pixels. Oops, wrong. Yep, 2 pixels there. Stop at 2 pixels there, so you will get 156 times 61 on the lower right hand corner. Okay, and then hit enter, you're done. So as you can see, you take 2 pixels on the left, 2 pixels on the top, 2 pixels below, and 2 pixels on the right. All right, once you do that, rename this rectangle to clipping mask. All right, so you're done here. File save. And if you zoom out, you can apply this clipping mask to image, okay, to make it look good. All right. And my video is getting really long. So the next video we are going to do all these images. All right. Okay, that's a good place to stop. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.